Age of Wonders was one of my favorite turn-based strategy games as a child. It is fairly generic vanilla fantasy, but doesn't matter, because the game is still pretty fun. Among the various units and monsters in the game, there was one that I particularly like. The Undead Bone Horror is a necromantic magical construct, a huge walking pile of bones that can replenish itself with whatever corpses are nearby on the battlefield. A bit like the Charnel Hound in D&D, except more like a lumbering dinosaur in shape. I did try to make a miniature of the Bone Horror once before, way back in 2011. By the time I had very few skeleton pieces in my bits box, and ended up with something much smaller than intended. So on and off over the years I wanted to make another attempt at building one, but making it bigger and more dangerous looking. I have lots of old sprues left from previous projects, and in the tabletop crafting community there is a recurring discussion about what to do with leftover sprues. Recently, Brent from Goobertown Hobbies brought it up in a few videos, which made me think about rebuilding the Undead Bone Horror but use the sprues to make the monster much bigger. The Bone Horror was built in layers. I began with cutting up sprues and gluing the pieces together into a vaguely animal-like shape. During this point I felt that the Bone Horror could do with an extra pair of legs, make it look even more unnatural. Then I started gluing on plastic beads to distract from the square sprues to get some organic shapes in there. Like most hobbyists, I have several boxes worth of miniature bits, cheap toys, and lots of random junk I've accumulated over the years. This is a hobby that pretty much encourages obsessive hoarding. I looked among my bits for pieces that would resemble bones. I kept gluing things like this all over the monster until I finally added a bunch of skulls from the Citadel Skulls box. I'm a cheapskate and try to find things that give me the most value for the least amount of money, which applies especially whenever I buy something like this. With the skulls added to the monster, it was time to paint it. I went for a simple black undercoat covered in layers of light colors. I tried to mix it up by painting some bones and skulls in stark white, with others in grey, or this color described as champagne, which looks close enough to GW's bleached bone. I mixed these colors to get some variety in the surfaces. Finally the whole thing was covered in a wash of watered down black paint, and then a little bit of dry brushing it with white all over, and my Undead Bone Horror was done. This was a really fun project, just mixing together lots of random bits and beads and pieces of sprue and junk and all sorts of things together to create this type of monster, a big skeletal beast made of multiple skeletons. I look forward to making more minis of skeletons and other undead monsters for some of my horror projects and such. I have no idea if I'll make any more videos on crafting in the future, but if you wish to see more of the stuff I've built over the years, then look me up at DeviantArt and Instagram. So, with any further ado, thank you for watching. Bye!